paints. Every artist has used them, and chances are you have a favorite one that you would literally die for if you had to. So this is what your favorite paint says about you. And I will also rank all these painters in this video into a tier list, since we all definitely deserve to be judged just because of our favorite art medium. And don't take these too personally, by the way. These are just my opinions. If your favorite paint medium is gouache, then you literally love paint, because there's literally the word ache in gouache. And the pain probably comes from the fact that once upon a time, you didn't want to choose between watercolors and acrylics, so you settled into the middle ground option. And now you love to convince yourself it makes you so elite, while you keep crying yourself to sleep each night because your colors dry into a whole different shade from the original one. And there's like only 3 types of paintings you guys post on your little gouache art accounts. It's either a Studio Ghibli ripoff, some kind of nature scene you tried to spice up with using more vibrant colors, or a painting you desperately want to put in a children's book one day. And oh boy, if you are one of these people who keep praising the Himi gouache palette, I am sorry, I kind of despise you. Well, not really, but how can you keep putting up with the smell and the growing mold problem? Like, these things should be marked as a biohazard at this point. Okay, and now that I have ranted my heart out about gouache and gouache artists, it do be time to rank you guys. I find most gouache art so satisfying and aesthetic to look at, but the artists themselves just feel so slightly crazy. So you guys can start this off by going to the middle. Okay tier, and let's move on. I know for a fact that all you acrylic paint enjoyers out there only have like 2 ways of working on your paintings. You're either working way too fast, because like this freaking plastic paint dries in like 3 seconds. Or you are in panic mode and you just kind of slap paint to the canvas and try your hardest to mix more colors, even though you already know deep down that you can never replicate a perfect mix ever again. Because once you manage to achieve a perfect shade, you just have to accept the fact that it will be just like once in a lifetime experience that you gotta cherish in the moment. Or if you accidentally make the paint too watery, you have to deal with the eventual cracking. That, if something, is painful. And also the fact that you guys procrastinate actually cleaning your brushes. So half of them are just like dried up sticks you keep for decorational purposes or something. Like, why? Please take this as a sign that if you have any brushes soaking in the paint water right now, just go clean them. But I'm jealous though that you guys get to experience the annual palette peeling ritual. I wish I could partake in that myself. So, how should we rank acrylic painters? The amount of sympathy I have towards them does have quite a big of an impact on my ranking. They get the sitting cool tier. Enjoy. I know you guys just try to disguise your mistakes as happy little accidents. Like, watercolor artists literally have the strongest Stockholm Syndrome relationship going on with their medium. Because no matter what you do with watercolor, it will always find new ways to betray you. And if you're one of those artists who keep telling everyone you just love the unpredictability, then please just stop. We all know that you're lying. You're just a control freak in disguise. I often feel like these artists get like underestimated in some ways. Like, the medium is seen as very simple and easy. Like, you don't need much to make art with watercolor. Like, you just have the palette and water. But like, as an ex-watercolor enjoyer, please don't say that to anyone who actually uses watercolor regularly, because then you will be a victim of a rant about expensive cotton papers, brushes that need to be a right kind of fur, those fur hairs getting stuck on the painting, sunlight ruining your colors. Yeah, you get it. But like, I do feel pretty proud of these artists, because somehow they just manage to keep themselves together even in the middle of their never-ending struggles. So you guys are slightly delusional, but that is okay. I love you guys. You deserve to sit at the top. If your favorite paint is oils, I'm feeling slightly jealous of you for your attention span, and also how you can just take the entire creative process so chill. Like, you can just be like, yeah, I will let this layer dry now and come back like next week, and that week will end up turning into a month, or in some cases a year or so. Something that I'm not so jealous about though is the fact that you guys are smelly. Like, your room and clothes always have a stink similar to a chemistry lab. And honestly, your creative space does kind of look like a lab also, with all your oils and turpentine and suspicious looking rags. You despise the cleaning process the most. Like, half of the time you have reserved for working on your painting, you gotta spend being a little cleaning lady who has to keep wiping the brush brushes, palette knives, random paint from your hands and face. And I know all of you have at least a few ruined shirts that got accidental paint on them, and some of you just like went nuts and just ruined your clothes on purpose at this point. These artists just give off the insane lab scientist energy who has gone slightly crazy from all the fumes. Still, this medium will always be truly elite, so I can't put this any lower than okay tier really. I would love to hear your thoughts on this medium and these artists though. Tempera paint is like where all our artistic journey started in kindergarten. Like we have all used tempera at some point, and it's not like we chose to use it really. Tempera paint chose us. Like a teacher just handed you a plastic tray full of colors and told you to paint like a tree or a family portrait or something like that. But those artists who actually like seriously use tempera paint, you must be like incredibly optimistic. Because like this paint might actually be worse than the Himi jelly gouache even. First of all, it never ends up looking clean, no matter how hard you try. And this paint is like the same consistency as yogurt. Sometimes it comes out too thick and sometimes come out as soup. That is the sad reality of tempera paint. And mixing these paints together will always end up creating some sort of mystery brown. So yeah, if you actually use these on a scale of 1 to 10, how okay are you? You are probably just feeling weirdly nostalgic over these paints and refuse to let go of those good old days. Well yeah, anyway, these artists are, I feel worried about you. But yeah, next. Okay, so this is artists who really want to be included in the whole painting conversation because they feel intense FOMO. Like, for example, me, I guess. Even though I wouldn't really classify myself as a painter. But yeah, anyway, most of the time, these artists give themselves the painter title because they turned up the texture setting in Procreate, or they use the paint like brushes a few times, but then abandoned them because they realized that trying to recreate the paint feeling digitally is literally like impossible. But if by digital paint you mean Microsoft Paint, then that is different, of course. Then you are just a psychopath. You literally chose the most limited art program ever created over all other free apps. You are literally choosing just to suffer. Okay, well, this is not fair to rank among all these other painters, so I'm sorry, my fellow digital gremlins. This is just not. I don't think we can compete in the same category among these other artists. I wouldn't call these artists painters really. They're more like maniacs who love to attack different surfaces. Whenever you see spray paintings in the wild, they're like always giant eyeballs, skulls, or just like a cool looking signature thing or whatever this is. But there is so much more to these artists. Those who actually take this medium seriously are actually pretty misunderstood, in my opinion. Like, you guys just have a crazy amount of confidence to go around without sketching or sometimes not even having a plan. All of you are very attached to your satisfying fades though. And you think this medium makes you like so much cooler from all other artists, which in a way, it is true. You are slightly different and you own it. But also, you are one of the stinky artists. Don't try to deny it. And not to be like overly stereotypical about you guys, but you all look straight from Subway Surfers. I do find these artists pretty cool. You are fast and bold, so you get to go to cool tier. But please comment down below if you may spray paint or you know someone who does. Have you actually ever sprayed in the wrong direction on accident? Because I need to know. Okay, firstly, I was wondering for a hot minute if ink actually belongs to this whole paint category, but I came to the conclusion that yes, it actually might earn its place here, because some artists do like to argue, well, technically, I paint with ink. Technically, yeah, that's the thing. But mostly, like if you like to paint with ink, you gotta treat it like a watercolor. The only real difference is now you gotta deal with the irreversible mistakes, but with watercolor you still have some hope left if you mess up. You guys just act so fearless and are so obsessed with the contrast. Every painting has to have like a big black void somewhere, or you're simply just like not satisfied. And these artists are also just the total opposite of chill. They take their work most seriously out of all other painters in this video, and it is so serious that it gets pretty irritating to follow. So I am sorry for all of you inkers out there. I have nothing personal towards you, but you will take the bottom spot for now. But if you do manage to defend yourself in the comments, you might be able to change my mind. If you would consider fabric paint to be your favorite art medium, you love to be noticed by other people. And you just love to explain to everyone how you paint your clothes yourself and what is the meaning behind them and so on. Even though half the time, those other people, they don't really care about it that deeply. But as long as you're passionate about it, then sure, go ahead, girl. Maybe your obsession with this art medium comes from the need to be perceived as unique in some way. And I don't want to start like hyper analyzing you guys, but it is pretty interesting to think about. But just in general, these artists are always pretty chaotic and more into the maximalism aesthetic, I think. Their personalities are just like a little bigger, if you know what I mean. I would say these artists are pretty fun, as I said. Very chaotic though. But like, I guess they're okay. Just once in a while you meet the annoying variant of this artist, but yeah. I was actually quite shocked when I learned that coffee painting was actually a thing. But like, I suppose I can wrap my head around it somehow. But then there's also people who actually paint with tea also. And wine. And I don't know how to feel about that. I guess just anything can be paint if you just try hard enough. I can imagine these artists standing in front of the fridge, having like a crisis and deciding to grab something unhinged like ketchup and actually paint with it. If you have ever reached this point, then like, well, you have reached a new low. Please get help. Just like straight up insane. Like, it can be pretty creative, I guess. But like, yeah, you guys are, I don't think I could ever trust these people. And now we have ranked all the paints and painters in this video. Of course, there exist a bunch more other niche paints, such as like eggshell paint and many more, but I simply just cannot include everything into one video. But still, comment below, what is your favorite paint? Did I manage to call you out on anything? And what do you think of these rankings? Because I would love to hear. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye!